cardio. Today we got some freaking cardio. We got some cardio today. And topic of the day, how bad do you freaking want it? At the end of the day, I think all this lifting stuff and bodybuilding and all your fitness goals, whether it's to bodybuild, whether it's to lose weight, whether it's to put on muscle, whether it's to anything, comes down to how bad do you really freaking want it? And it's very simple, and I feel like it gets overcomplicated and conflated a lot with like other things, and like, oh, you need to do this science-based lift, and you need to do all these things before you can really get in shape. But at the end of the day, it's simple. How bad do you want it, and how far are you willing to go for it? And I feel like that's that. I mean, yesterday I discussed sleep and how sleep is like a pretty important factor in gains and stuff. And again, going to sleep on time to make sure you have energy for the gym consistently is really just a matter of how bad do you want it. Would you rather just stay up and party all night, or like maybe stay up and play video games, or do you want it bad enough? Do you want to get your goals or like fulfill your dreams bad enough that you're willing to be like, okay, sorry guys, maybe I won't stay out till 3 a.m. tonight. Maybe I'll go to sleep at 11 or 12 even. I mean, these aren't unreasonable times. So I can go to the gym tomorrow and have a good workout. Or maybe sometimes you'll have to be like, hey, sorry guys, I can't quite make it to the bar tonight. I need to stay in and sleep so I can have a good lift tomorrow, or go in and do cardio tomorrow. And again, I mean, a lot of people will tell you, oh, but I don't have time for the gym. I just, like, Nassim, where do you find the time to go? If you wanted to make time for it, trust me, you would. Everyone likes to say they don't have time to do X, Y, Z. Like, oh, I would look like Ronnie Coleman, but yeah, I just don't have time to go to the. Oh, just shut up. Just sit down, bro. Like, I know, you know damn well that even if you did have the time, you still wouldn't go because you don't want it enough. I mean, people can make. I mean, you guys all know you can make time for things that you like really care about or really want. Like, for example, say your mom calls you and needs you to go do something. Even if you're busy, you're going to make time for that. For example, same thing goes for the gym. If you really care about fulfilling your fitness goals and you want to get big or you want to lose that weight, at the end of the day, it boils back down to the very basic matter of, do I really want this, and am I willing to put aside a little bit of time for it? And a common misconception is that it requires a lot of time out of your schedule to, let's say, lose weight. This is a very common goal. It really doesn't, actually. I mean, you think you have to do hours and hours of cardio and all that, but really the time commitment isn't mainly the cardio. It's more of the lifestyle choice of making sure you're not eating too much, which, I mean, you're already gonna eat anyways. Like, you're not taking time out of your schedule to go like eat a meal you weren't planning on eating before. Let's be honest. I mean, I know you guys all want to go eat. I want to eat too. I'm a natural born eater as well. Anyways, I digress. That's besides the point. Regardless, the time commitment is maybe 20 to 30 minutes of cardio, not even daily, just most days, I would say. It doesn't even have to be every single day, like a daily type of thing. So a little bit of cardio, let's say 4 or 5 times a week, 20 to 30 minutes. You don't even have to go to the gym, by the way. You can just go outside and walk. I mean, that's the greatest thing about cardio, is you don't have to like have a treadmill to do it. Unlike weightlifting, you could do calisthenics, but unlike weightlifting, you don't need a rack or dumbbells or anything like that. You can do cardio very easily, completely for free, just by going outside. So say you took 20 minutes out of every day to go take a walk, and you took an extra 3 to 4 minutes before every meal to calculate the amount of calories in your meals. Just like that, with a little time sacrifice, suddenly you've made it so that you're on track to like losing your weight, and your schedule really hasn't changed all that much. I mean, come on, who doesn't have a couple of minutes before a meal to like be like, okay, maybe this hamburger has 800 calories in it, or to like, take 20 minutes in the evening just to take a walk after dinner. I'm sure everybody can do that. And something that I really don't like is, on a more serious note, is like when people say like, I just it's just not meant for me. I just can't. Like, I'm just meant to be fat, for example. Or, like, it's just impossible for me. Like, I can't do it. My genetics are terrible. And I just think that's the wrong way to go about thinking about any goal or anything like that. I mean, sure, some people might be more genetically predisposed to putting on muscle faster, or they might secrete less hunger hormones such as ghrelin and have more like satiation hormones. I mean, whatever. Like, that's stuff you can't control. And like I mentioned before, if you focus on what's out of control in your life as the things you're going to put value on, it's just not a good way to live. I mean, that's a symptom of anxiety, generalized anxiety disorder. It really doesn't help when you focus on what's out of your control. If you put your value and your like level of contentness into the things that you actually can control yourself over, or you have like a grasp on, that's a much better way to go about things. I mean, I think everybody would rather be in control of their own lives, or at least have a feeling of control, as opposed to a feeling of helplessness to the conditions or the hand you were dealt. I mean, I feel like a good analogy is like we all have been given a different and totally unique position on a chessboard in our lives. And some positions are better, some positions are worse. And there's nothing you can do about it once you're in that situation, because you're already there. There's no taking back what's already happened. But even if you're in a bad position, you can still make the best possible move to the best of your ability. And you can still, quote unquote, make a comeback. Now, this isn't to say you're competing against somebody for something. Like, this isn't a competition. The best part of this is you're playing a game against yourself. That's what fitness is at the end of the day. A game against yourself. There's no reason to compare your objectives and your goals and your baseline to those of others. Why is that? Because we were all playing on a different board. I mean, if you know the rules of chess, one guy might have been dealt let's say he was given the position of white, and he's up like 10 points of material. Like, we're talking a queen and like whatever. I mean, that's 9 points, but a queen and like let's say a knight. That's 9 points right there. Versus maybe you were dealt the board, like the position you have is you're playing black and you're down by like 10, for example, just to like replicate it. You're down a queen, a knight, and a pawn. I mean, what can you do? There's nothing you can do about that. And we're discussing like your genetic position, for example. But what you can do is do the things in your control to give yourself the best opportunity you possibly can. So there's no reason to compare what you were given to what somebody else was given, because that's totally out of your control, and there's nothing you can do about that. Which is exactly why things like, if you can do everything in your ability, even if you were dealt a bad hand, and even though it isn't fair, if you do everything you can to try to counteract that's within your control, you'll end up achieving a result that you knew you tried your best to get. And I think at the end of the day, that's what fitness and bodybuilding and losing weight and all that is all about. It's a game against yourself to see how bad do you want it, how hard are you willing to try, even against the odds, to receive what you wanted. And don't get this twisted. What you see on social media is very fake and disillusioned. Most people were not dealt the hand that you see on social media of these guys with like crazy chiseled abs and they don't like have any hunger really. And I mean, they still work for their like physiques, but within 2-3 years they're already like looking insane. Most of us were not given the best starting position. I would assume 90% of us actually are starting from a place of, you know, less fortune, not as lucky in terms of like the physique. But again, there are still things you can do. So rather than compare against a position that you never had to begin with, just based off pure luck of the draw, doing what's in our control is really all we can do at the end of the day. And the question boils down to, again, how bad do you really want it? And I want it bad enough to go in and do cardio on a freaking Friday. So it is what it is. But again, it doesn't always have to be hard, and you don't have to think about it as like a chore. I mean, there's also ways to transform time you're already spending on one thing into fitness time. For example, I told you yesterday, I'm watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure right now. what do you think I'm about to go do while I'm doing my cardio? I mean, instead of just sitting around on the couch and watching my anime or playing Clash Royale, I might have to slide in a Clash Royale game now that I mentioned it, or 2, or 3. Okay, maybe we'll just play Clash Royale today. Whatever. That's besides the point. Rather than sitting on the couch and doing absolutely nothing while watching TV, I mean, you could very easily throw in like 20-30 minutes of cardio if you do that on a treadmill, assuming you have a gym membership. Or say you like just listening to podcasts or just vibing a little bit to music. You can do that while walking as well. And I'm not saying you have to do a super intense form of cardio like running. You could do something very chill and still do the things that you were going to do anyways, but instead mix in a little bit of cardio with that. And there's always ways to compromise. I mean, that's again an idea of how bad do you want it. I mean, most people will say like, oh, but like I need my free time. You can mix in your free time with a little bit of cardio in a way that really isn't that tiring. So again, back to the main point. Do what's in your control. And I really wouldn't worry so much about what's out of your control. And you might be surprised after, let's say 1 to 2 to 3 years. I mean, if you're lucky, we'll say 6 months, and if you're really lucky, I mean, honestly, that's 6 months is crazy, but like within a year for sure, 2 years, 3 years at worst of not even that consistent. I'm talking 3-4 times a week of just staying dialed in and like, daily tracking of your calories, macros, whatever. You'll be shocked that maybe what you thought was your potential and what you could achieve was a little bit more than what was within your mind of like what you actually believed in yourself. I mean, I do need to show you guys my transformation at some point. I'll make this video shortly. I keep saying I'm going to do it, but I will eventually. I really did not think I had any muscular potential at all. I mean, I was starting from like one of the craziest skinny fat physiques ever, and I've gotten to where I am now after 3, 4, 5 years of just consistency. And it's beyond what I could have imagined. And not to say I'm satisfied. Of course, I'm very happy and proud, but I would have never imagined that like I was even capable of this. Like, I thought I was dealt a crappy hand. And sometimes we think we're dealt a crappy hand when in reality, we just didn't know how to read the position. If you know chess, of course. I mean, let me explain this for the people that don't understand chess. If you're not good at chess, you don't know how to evaluate the position to know whether you're winning or losing. And I feel like a lot of us, if we're stuck in like a negative mindset, or we're not very experienced at this gym stuff, or we've never done it, how are we supposed to be able to even evaluate our own position if we've never even tried? So, a little philosophical today, a little bit more serious, but that's enough of that. Let's just get in there, do a nice and hard and long cardio session. Yeah. And then we'll get out of here. Do a brief little car talk on the way back. No pose down today. We're gonna get very sweaty in there, so that's enough yapping. Go do your cardio right now, if you can. Peace. Now that was a good cardio session. While I was doing my walking, I was thinking a little bit about some of those like little tricks and stuff that you can use that, like, how bad do you want it? Like that extra dedicated time to make sure you're like focusing on like losing weight, let's say, or cutting. So what are those tricks? Well, there's a couple really easy ones that I feel like really embody the idea of how bad do you want it. And it's just like stuff that people don't tend to think about, especially when it comes to, let's call it wasteful calorie intake. There's 2 main things that people usually, I notice, don't like think about. First is sauces. Now, I've noticed this, but a lot of the time, like when people are counting their calories, they tend to neglect even the little things such as sauces. I can't think of anything else right now that's like that, but I feel like dips and sauces are like some of the most common. I mean, for example, like you don't consider, let's say your salsa dip if you don't consider that when you're counting your calories, you're potentially missing out on like 100, 200, 300, 400 calories of like your daily intake, and that can really ruin a deficit. I mean, when you think about how small the deficit really is, like if you want to lose a pound a week and you're on a 500 calorie daily deficit and you're like, my weight's not changing, but it turns out you weren't counting the salsa, for example, or your dip. Well, there you go. It's just, I don't know. It's like little hidden things that neglect. It's really just an idea of neglect. Sauces, the same exact idea. I mean, say you were eating like some like fries or fried chicken. I mean, I wouldn't recommend eating those foods on a cut, but you can if they're within the macros. And say you do that, but you ate like 400 calories worth of like barbecue sauce or ketchup or something. It can throw you off. So it's just those little things. Like how badly do you really care about it? Just focusing on the details, the little things that you could miss. Another one, and this one kind of bothers me a lot because no one thinks about this one. It's what you drink, and specifically I'm discussing soda. If you drink non-diet soda, so I'm talking regular soda with like all the sugar and everything, I'm sorry, like that's just, come on now. That's not very smart. Let's just leave it at that. Regular soda is, I mean, you're just downing calories without even thinking about it. I mean, let's say you go to a restaurant and you order a regular Coke. Let's call it 200 calories a glass, and you drink 3 of them without even thinking about it over the course of your meal. And the waitress keeps coming by and filling it up. I mean, thanks waitress for the W service, but you don't think about how many of those you drank, and suddenly you're looking at the scale and the weight's not changing, and you're like, huh. And think about it. I mean, if you just cut out sauces, dips, and sodas and replace them with lower calorie options, like for example, no sugar or low sugar sauces and diet sodas, you've just eliminated a source of like 800 calories on the high side, which that's really all you need. I mean, when you think about what you need to do to lose weight, of course that's calories in, calories out, but if you don't want to change your lifestyle, simply cutting out stuff from what you're already doing is going to mean you're intaking less calories already on the same diet. So you don't necessarily even have to change what you're eating unless you're eating like a crazy unhealthy diet. But you don't necessarily have to even change the foods you're eating. If you just change small parts of it, you know, like switch out the soda with a diet soda and switch out the sauce with either less sauce or no sugar sauce, you're 500 calories down maybe on the exact same diet. And that decrease in 500 calories is going to decrease your daily intake, and as a result you're going to lose weight by changing nothing except like easy stuff. Another small thing, I guess, also on the drink side is like juices and let's say alcoholic beverages and all that. Again, like I wouldn't recommend drinking your calories, especially because it's just really easy to do, like fruit smoothies and all that. But I feel like those are a little bit more obvious. I mean, juices are loaded with sugar. I mean, even like the natural ones. If you're drinking your fruits and you're drinking in your calories, you're going to be hungrier and you're going to be able to consume more of those. So I just would recommend staying away from that. But being diligent about picking those healthier options. You don't even have to change your foods. You can just pick the lower calorie options. You can pick the diet breads, the low calorie breads, the lower calorie sauces, the diet sodas. Just by doing those small things, less fat cheese, lower fat milk, you're cutting out major sources of calories without changing your diet. So it's just, how much are you willing to think about it, and how much are you willing to be like, maybe there is an easy way to change this. Same thing goes with the cardio. How much are you willing to like take those like 15 to 20 minutes to still watch TV, but throw the cardio on top of it? Anyways, that's enough of today's rant about how bad do you want it. More Clash Royale clips coming soon. Mike is arriving this evening, so tomorrow's video is actually going to be mic'd up. Hopefully the audio quality is better. But that's all I got for now. Thank you so much for watching. Leave that like, leave that comment, do your cardio, subscribe. And yeah, that's about it. Let's go get this crazy meal in. Do your cardio now. See you.